Tonight is going to be the Rocky Patel Brothers Robusto Maduro. Comes in a cello wrap. You see, it's a nice dark cigar. I have my doubts about dark cigars. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. But let's see how this one, especially I want to see how it lights up. Well, let's put the kindling to this baby, and I want to see how it lights. Yeah, that's a lot of drawing, and it's still not quite good enough. Just one more. Okay, that's enough for me. But this is the problem sometimes I have with the Maduro cigars. It takes a lot of lighting to get a good end. And by the time I finally get it lit, I'm choking on it. But this one wasn't that bad. Now I'll go get my glass of cheap Merlot and go out the patio. How cheap is this Merlot? Well, it's I pay on sale about $7, $6-7 sometimes for a 150 milliliter bottle. And often the cigar costs more than the entire bottle. So anyways, I'm going to crank up the TV and come back and report how the smoke is going. You're watching Hawaii 5-0 tonight. I enjoyed the original series and I'm enjoying this series also. And I have my own little story about Hawaii to tell about this. Well, so far the Patel Brothers smoke is very nice, very enjoyable. Has an excellent ash on it, excellent burn. I think I'm going to enjoy this one. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of Maduro cigars in the past that were almost like smoking sandpaper, but I think this is going to be a pleasure. Well, this Patel Brothers cigar with Nilo Patel is an excellent smoke. I'd rate this around a 92. Nice burn on it. The wrapper's not coming apart. And the most important part, very nice taste and mild. Doesn't have that sandpaper effect. So I was watching Hawaii 5-0 and it made me think of a story I have to tell about 1963. My wife and I were just married and we went out to Hawaii. And we were on the beach and I wanted to go surfing. Well, I've never been surfing before. So I went up to the stand where they were renting surfboards and I said, hey, I want to rent one of these surfboards. He said, you've been surfing before? No. He said, okay, well, we'll still rent you one. And he gave me the board. At that time, these boards were about 10 feet high. And I thought I was just going to pick it up in my arm and carry it out into the water. Well, I could not pick this board up. I had to drag it by the tail end out to the water. And I saw people surfing way out and catching waves. So I wanted to go out where they were. So I laid on the board. No way could I stand up on the board. I must have been crazy. So I laid on the board and I paddled out to where these guys were out there surfing. And I'm waiting for a big wave just like they are. Well, I finally catch a wave. And I wasn't going to attempt to stand up on the board, but just, hang on to it. Well, this wave hit me. And it took the board and it just flew right out of my arms. The board's gone. I'm in the water. Okay? So I'm going to start swimming back to shore. But the waves are pounding me down into the water. And then I'm in the foam and I finally come up and try to catch my breath and another wave pushes my head under. Well, I went through 3 or 4 times of this not being able to catch my breath, coming up, and the waves pushed me back down. In fact, I was about to drown and die out there in the ocean. And all of a sudden, a guy comes up with my surfboard. And I don't know who he was. He pushes it to me. He says, "Is this your surfboard?" I said, "Yes, that's my surfboard." And he pushes it towards me, and I put a lock on that thing like you've never seen before. I wasn't going to let go of that board. And this guy just swam off, never said another word. And I just slowly paddled towards the shore and got back on the shore. And you know what? I almost died out there in that ocean through stupidity of not knowing how dangerous the waves were. And all this time, my wife was on the beach reading a book. And little did she know that when she finished her book, if things had gone and this guy never gave me the board back, well, she would have had a dead husband, and who knows if they ever would have found my body out there. Anyways, my friend from 1963, I thank you, whoever you are. You saved my life. And an addendum to this, I have to say that's a very fancy label on this cigar, and I'm quite surprised because generally when I see a fancy label on a cigar, it's going to be a lousy smoke. But I have to say, the Patels make a great cigar.